Good evening, everybody. This is Victor Kilo 4, Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Faryiryland. It's just gone 19:30 hours, 7:30 p.m, 09:30 UTC. It is Wednesday night, so that means it's another VK4BAD bad net for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. This is Victor Kilo 4, Golf Romeo Bravo. I'll now change my call sign to the club call of VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains Radio Club. This is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta. It is currently 25.2 degrees outside, 64% humidity, 0 wind speed. And that's the conditions outside at Faryiryland. Okay, we'll see who's on at the present time. This is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta. Listening for any call-ins, VK4BAD.
VK4 Mike Victor. VK4FAX.
We're going by 2 by 2 by the looks of it at the present time. VK4 Mike Victor, Al in Dalby, and VK4 FAX Don in Drayton. VK4 BAD, listening for any other call-ins. Go ahead now, please. Okay, it's going to be another quiet night tonight. And that's not a problem. Okay, before we fire off the first round, this is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta, listening for any other call-ins, VK4BAD. Okay, nothing else heard at the present time. I don't know what everybody else has been doing today. I've done a few little jobs around the place. Just some tidying up work on the ute, and a couple of other little jobs around the place. I've got to get into the tractor, or onto the tractor in the next couple of days, and pull one of the back wheels off to do some work on that. It found a stick when I was cleaning some brush up. A stick decided to go through the side wall and let all the water out. So I've got to drain what's left of the water and repair a tyre. Okay, before we start the first round, is there anyone else want to call in? This is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta, listening.
This is VK4IJP.
Okay, we gained an extra one there. VK4IJP, good evening there, Ian, in Proston. Okay, last call before we start the first round. VK4BAD. Anyone else want to call in? VK4BAD listening? Okay, nothing else heard at the present time. Okay, we might get a couple of stragglers somewhere along the line in the as we go on. Never know. Okay, VK4MV followed by VK4FAX, and at the present time, tail end Charlie is VK4IJP. VK4MV, over to you there, Al.
VK4BAD group, and this is VK4MV. Good evening, Gary, Don, and Ian. Nice to hear from you, and nice pleasant evening, nice afternoon. And what have I achieved this week? Oh, a few little interesting things. I did the tuning on one of the FT897s I've got here, so I had to reacquaint myself with all the finessing that you've got to do to get readings up and down and settings the right way around so that it achieves the desired result. Done some tidying up and a bit of measuring, and going to design some test leads so I can make them a bit more reliable than just twisted bits of wire. And because it's always nice to have something solid and reliable when you connect to a radio, so that it gives you the proper results and it's repeatable. So, and you've got to think of what the ramifications of what you're connecting to and how you're doing it. So anyway, that'll keep me out of mischief. Monday I had a bit of exciting. I had to do a bit of painting. Got the stirrer out, painted a big pot of paint, and painted the inside of what used to be a garage, or was used as a garage, at the museum. And we've converted it into an extension of a kitchen, so that we can do a bit better catering there. So it's much tidier than the original one we were using. So nephew did a bit of panelling the day before, and we did a bit of puttying and spack fillering and sanding and that sort of stuff, and then we got the paintbrushes and the roller out, and we opened the tin, and it was a creamy colour, so that's the colour it ended up. And it didn't look too bad, actually. Nice and bright. So hopefully that'll suit them. Otherwise, the second coat will be a different colour until the powers that be are happy with how it looks. But anyway, that was a Monday's effort. So yeah, up and down the ladder and up and down with the roller. Had some visitors this morning on their way back from Roma, VK4AB and VK4RM. And they dropped in for a cup of tea and left a bit of stuff here that I'm going to have to transport to another position. So I've got a part of a job to do. And other than that, it was nice to chat with them and see what was going on. And yeah, all good. So that's about it for now. Otherwise, we're just keeping out of mischief and doing a bit of research on parts and things. So over to you, Don, VK4FAX in the group, VK4MV.
Listen to a word from our sponsor, yeah, VK4. Sorry, MV. I'm having a bit of a senior moment here. Mike Victor, VK4FAX, and good evening to you there, Gary, and Al, and Ian, up there in Proston. Busy day. A little bit tuckered out, actually. Just suffering with a crook right foot, and I'm not sure whether it's a bit of a toss-off from when I had the accident a few 6 weeks ago, or what. But it was just absolute terrible pain for a couple of days, and swollen, and plenty getting a shoe on. And anyway, I worked it out today. I just went on and had to fix broken pipes and shovel soil and crush a dust and rocks, etc. So I give it a workout, and it seems to be okay. I know it's there, but I'm looking forward to Nodland to put it up and give it a bit of a rest. But anyway, much better than last night, pain-wise. Weather-wise, it was quite pleasant today. Not a bit warm, but as it turned out, the last job today was doing a drain on a new home over there in Cranley, and we're on the shaded side of the house, and got it installed and inspected and backfilled. And once again, rocky country, terrible country over there. It's just there's some funny country around Toowoomba. Then you get in beautiful red soil, and that's where they grow the best vegetables, etc. But they build houses on it. So most productive country we seem to take over with homes, etc., and then try to farm and produce vegetables, etc., and fruit on the marginal country. So how clever are we? Anyway, VK4IJP, VK4FAX with the group.
Hey, good evening, all. Gary, our Don. It's been a goodish sort of week. Been doing a couple of things around here, nor there. Just getting myself frustrated, trying to work out things with my four-wheel drive. I think I've made a decision to move on, and I'll just go and buy another one, and then sell that one as a project car for someone else. I'm just getting fed up. And fixed a tyre on me ride-on mower. I popped a bead on one of the wheels a couple of weeks ago, and obviously didn't clean it properly or good enough. There was must have been a little bit of dirt around the bead. So I really gave it a good clean and put it back together, and it's held air wonderfully this afternoon. So I will be probably mowing the lawns tomorrow morning. And this afternoon we had a call out and went and looked after a grass fire, which wasn't too bad because it's actually been burnt out a couple of months ago. It was very thin, so it didn't take much to put it out, really. It wasn't so much it was out of control. It just needed a bit of attention, and a couple of small stacks had caught on fire. So we spent a couple of hours and just letting a couple of things burn out for the farmer. So all good. So they were pretty happy with that. and come home and put everything in the wash machine and water the garden and do a couple of things and have dinner, and here I am. Been a big day. And yeah, all going pretty good. Yeah, so I'll throw it around to Gary and we'll see all the activities that have been happening. Gary, I was going to ask you earlier on a couple of times now, have you had any communications about your the 6 metre repeater and things like that? So just sort of generally wondering about that and just possibly the repeater at Mergen as well. VK4BAD and the group is VK4IJP.
VK4IJP, VK4BAD. Before we continue on to the next one, is there anyone else want to join in? This is VK4BAD listening. Okay, nothing else heard on that. Oh, okay. Okay, I'd like to also thank the shortwave people who are actually watching the YouTube channel at the moment. Thank you for joining. I see there's 3 on there at the present time, so I hope you're enjoying the net at the present as it goes live over the YouTube channel, and later on it will be on there as a recording. Okay, okay there, Al, on doing some patch leads and making sure that the leads are working properly. Yes, I make all my own cat cables and all that here for all my stuff. And of course they're one use crimps, and the amount of times I've actually had to cut the plug off because it one wire never wasn't sitting in the proper place, or it didn't quite make the crimping area. As I was crimping, so all the fun little bits happen with those things. But yes, you try and do once and test a couple of times, but unfortunately they don't always work for you. Okay, before we start the second round and last round, just a general notice that on the 11th of May, the 11th of the 5th, is our monthly meeting, or quarterly meeting, I should say, for the club. So if you haven't jotted the 11th of May down on your calendar as yet, to attend the meeting, normal spot opposite the high school and the Freedom service station on the Warrego Highway. Stand by. Okay, I had to wait for the sponsor to go before I could come back. No, I haven't had no word on the. I think it's got lost in the lost in the paperwork with all this changeover, what's happened. So I have to get back on with the 6 metre repeater. Because I do actually want to get that up and running. There's a couple of other repeaters I want to actually put up here on the property as well. There. So the 6 metre one is the first one to go up, but I've got to get. I'm still waiting, which is ridiculous. I can't see anything on the site to say that it's been looked at or anything like that, and I've had no correspondence. So I should actually get back to them and see what happens. But I think it might have got lost in the mail somewhere along the line, or in the paperwork of the changeover. Okay, the extension on for the Bunya Mountains repeater on this one here on the 2 metre extension, or 2 metre and 70 centimetre, as far as I'm aware of. We're also going to be doing Mungo is 2 metres, 70 centimetres is the other side of Toowoomba. But I think at the moment we're just working on the 2 metre one. At the present time, Jake has been pretty busy down in Brisbane, and I think he might be back this week. But as I said, he's been pretty busy down in Brisbane town. So I've got no further information except that it should be up and running by the end of this month. So that is as much as I know about the repeater there at the present time. It would be good. Stand by again. It will be good, VK4BAD back. It will be good when it does, because it will slightly increase our northerly path. We should be able to access into Maryborough, Harvey Bay, the edge of Bundaberg, and of course should be able to get into Gympie as well. So that's what the footprint shows. So that will be good when that one is up and that extra piece is up and running. We were waiting on just the antenna for it, but as I said, Jake had to do a trip to Brisbane for a bit over a week, and so it's been nothing done for the week on that one. So at the present time, I can't answer any of your questions there, Ian. The 6 metre, as I said, I'm still waiting on that. I'll send them an email off. If I don't catch anything this week, I'll send them an email off next week, because it usually only takes about 2 months, and it's been a bit longer than that there. So I'll do some chasing up on that one, because I also want to get a couple of 2 metre repeater allocations as well. I want to put an SSTV repeater up on the property here, and I'm half the height to what the Bunya Mountains repeater is at 1100. I'm at 450 or 425, I should say. So, and I've got good on my standby on where my location is here at Faryiryland. I've got good coverage into Maryborough and up to Gladstone and out to Miles, and I haven't tried the south west I know I am blocked towards Toowoomba way. If I go up a bit more in height, I could get over the top of the crest of the hill, because I'm 10 metres below the crest. So I am in the shadow of a hill, and that's only 10 metres higher than what I am. So I can go, if I go up just a bit higher, I could definitely get out that way. Was hearing someone on 500, that's 146-500 there today. So I say the guys in Jandowie were doing some testing or having a bit of a conflab. I could hear them there, but I can't make anything out of them. Okay, I've waffled enough already. This is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Does there anyone else want to join the Wednesday night net before we start the second round? VK4BAD? Oh, okay. That station again. Go again. You're pretty low down to me. VK4BAD. Yeah, this is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Do you want that station? Do you want to try again? VK4BAD? Not too sure, but I wasn't too sure if that was VK4 Charlie Echo Golf. I'm not too sure if that was the call sign I heard, but I did hear a call sign, but he was very low down and to me there. VK4BAD listening. Okay, nothing else heard at the present time. If someone else heard that one and picked the call, because I wasn't too sure. It sounded like Charlie Echo Golf, but it was not his signal what he normally pushes out to you. VK4 Mike Victor, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Over to you there, Al.
VK4BAD group, VK4MV. I didn't hear anything coming through the repeater. Somebody was getting to you on simplex or something. So nothing heard here on any other signals. I make all sorts of weird connections for things. What I was trying to do with one thing when I was testing the 897 is I'm coming unbalanced out of an audio port on the SIGGEN, and I was putting it through a 600 ohm to 600 ohm transformer so I could isolate the ground and feed it into the mic plus and minus mic negative, although it's generally pretty close to earth, the mic negative. But just in case, I thought I'll do an isolation on that, and it was giving me very, very good level through. It was hardly losing anything through the transformation. So I thought that'll be a way of isolating that and just making sure that what I was feeding into the mic socket for tuning was correct. So I was going to make up a more permanent lead or make it into a little jiggery box, which I use for other radios, and I normally bring all the ingoing and outgoing audios and monitoring to B and C connectors, and then I have some selection switches as to what path it's taking through the box, and I've got standard connectors going to transmitters, receivers and PAs when I'm doing T800s. So I'm trying to make that a bit more versatile, that connector box, so that I can have nice control levels and regular, reliable signal paths to other radios, so that it'd be a quick connect, a reliable contact, and make sure that nothing falls off and creates a drama. So I noticed that over the time the RJ type connectors have gone from a little loading device. You push the wires through it and then you load that into the housing. So I've seen some now that you, instead of it pushing into a blind hole for so the pins can connect to it when you crimp it, is they come right out the front side. So you can make sure that they're definitely into the path of the pins, and then when you crimp it, you can just slice anything that's left sticking out the front. You just slice that off, so it guarantees a good, reliable crimp. And so I've noticed those sorts of things. So that make it a lot easier making those connectors. And every other one's got their own method of making the pins work. I was making up some adapters to go from an RJ, an 8-pin RJ connector. There's a socket, and then the other side of the adapter is a 25-pin D-range connector. So we only use certain pins of that to extract signal from the particular radios and patch them to an audio bridge. And of course, when we get them, they quite often pin the wrong way. So to get those pins out, it's very difficult. And I know there's a special tool for it, so I had to make one, and with a little copper shim, made a semicircle out of it and pushed it in and unlocked them. And it just lasted long enough until I got to the last pin. So anyway, I've now got a proper one from RS, so now I can unpin and repin those quite reliably. So I like the idea of being able to safely make and unmake connections. So anyway, that's another thing that occupies my time, engineering and making things, and going, what if, and can I find something I can do the job with even though I haven't got the proper tool? Keeps me out of mischief. But anyway, I need a simple job like digging drains. All you need is a mattock and a strong back. Over to you, Don. VK4FAX in the group. VK4 Mike Victor.
VK4 Mike Victor, VK4FAX with the group, yeah. Yeah, I've got the strong back and the weak knees. Anyway, we managed to get things done. Yeah, I probably haven't got lots more to report. Very still here this evening, and I don't think it's got anything below 26 degrees. It seems it's been cooling off of an evening, but tonight it's sort of hung around that 26 mark, so I'm probably going to have to put the fan on when I go to bed, which is not far off my agenda after the big day I've had. So I'll thanks Gary for running the net, and thanks everyone that's come on this evening, and those listening. I wish you all a good evening, and we look forward to catching up down the track somewhere. VK4IJP with the group. Over to you there, Ian. VK4VX.
Yeah, thanks, Don. And something I forgot to mention before to you, Gary. Has anyone noticed the repeater? I noticed earlier on today, the repeater's not suffering with the desensing issue. It seems to be all nice, loud and clear without any noise coming and going below people, especially for this group. But I know it did happen with Gary. The noise came and went, so I'm just wondering if anyone has any idea about if something has happened there. Has another network collapsed, or have they realised that there was another problem? Because I sort of looked at other radio sites up there, and I had to listen to a couple and this repeater at the same time, but I couldn't find anything coming up transmitting when the noise was happening. So this has been the last couple of weeks. So that's an observation I actually noticed this morning, Gary, when I was speaking to you around 10:30, 11 o'clock today, and I didn't sort of think of it at the time. It sort of came to me a little bit later on today, and now just listening to everybody as well, there would be no desensing of a repeater. But anyway, I'm just wondering if you noticed that anyway, Gary, and if anyone else wants to make a comment later on. Yep, all very well and good. If not, lo and behold, it's probably gone, but in a better way than what it's appeared. VK4BAD in the group, VK4IJP. Oh, I've got to thank you, Gary, for running the net, mate. Good job again. Cheers, everyone.
VK4 IJP, VK4BAD. Does anyone else want to come in and say hello, goodbye before we close the net off? VK4BAD. Okay, nothing else heard. I can't really honestly say about the desensing. There is we've got a couple of new radios up on the hill. I know that much. They might be actually doing a bit of improvement. I haven't heard the noises or the desensing around myself, but I probably haven't been paying attention to it, or I'm just used to listening to it. But no, I can't answer that question. I'll have to have a I'll have to have a look around and see. Also, that call sign I could have came off over 70. I have got 70 down low on this radio, so it could have been 70 centimetres, which was bleeding through. And I was just picking up just a little bit of audio from them. There. I'll have to have a look. I'll have a look on the recording, and I'll we'll have a look and see if my received light came on the 70 when I heard that call, because it was very low down to me, and none of you else heard it. With the desensing, as I said, we have had a different radio change up on the hill, so because of the work which we are doing, so that could have fixed the problem. Unknown. As I said, I haven't really heard the desensing lately myself. But then I'm probably used to hearing it. Stand by. Okay. So it usually happens when usually during the daytime, and when that, but as I said, I haven't heard it. So I can't answer that question. Yeah, okay there, Al. Yes, I have seen those plugs where all the wires go through the whole unit. I've seen them advertised, but I've never. At the moment, I've still got a stockpile of ended plugs, and until my stockpile ends, then I'll change over, because they look like good plugs. As you said, all the wires go through. You can tell when all the wires. You know by a glance that if you got all your wires in the right spot. And 600 ohm to 600 ohm. That's a telecom. That's a telecom one, telephone transformer, isolating transformer. I used to use those when I was doing phone patching. I don't have to do that now. I Bluetooth my mobile phone to my audio mixer, and then feed it out to the radio. So I don't have to. All I've got is a 8 ohm to 8 ohm to 600. There. So it goes from speaker to mic. There. Through my audio, and then through a couple of capacitors. There. Yeah, my interface is pretty simple and easy. Hi. But see, I cheat with my phone patching nowadays. Stand by. VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta returning. Okay, before we close the net off, I'd like to thank you all for turning up. Is there anyone else want to come in and say hello, goodbye before I definitely close the net off? VK4BAD. No one else. Okay, I'd like to thank Al, VK4 Mike Victor in Dalby. I'd like to thank Don, VK4FAX in Drayton. And I'd like to thank Ian, VK4IJP in Proston for calling in. And hello, there's only one person listening to the live net at the moment. So anyway, with that lot there, I'd like to thank you all for turning up. And this is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta. I'll now resume back to my home call of VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Faryiryland. And I'll now leave the frequency open for general traffic. And we'll catch us all again at 19:30 hours, 7:30 p.m, 09:30 UTC next Wednesday night. Until then, I'll say 7 free and good night. VK4GRB out.